boom, before we get kicked out, the last like probably no more than a month, between like 2 weeks to a month, because it felt like it wasn't enough time. And this was my first heartbreak in this same time. So I'm 10 at the time. And I think I was going on 11, or I had just recently turned 11. So my birthday's in July, so I probably was going on 11. I feel like I was 11 because I think it was a 3-year difference. So I had to be 11. Okay, so I was 11. My bad. I'm really trying to remember. I don't want to tell y'all the wrong number. So I know I was 10 or 11. How about that? So it was this girl. And I think she was 3 years older than me. I remember it. When I remember it in my mind, I remember her being 14 and I was 11. That's what I remember. I remember her being 3 years older than me. The reason I remember that is because when I was 7, I had a not a real cousin. I said I wasn't gonna ever tell y'all this story, but I had a not real cousin. We did some things together that kids probably shouldn't be doing. Hey. Don't blame me for what I did when I was a child. I was young, but I was with it. But I was a child. Go watch your kids. Go find out what your kids doing. All right. Okay. So anyway. So yeah, because she was 3 years older than me and we had that event, I was like, I think I got a thing with this little 3-year gap. Now, man, she's only 14, but like the grown dudes that be outside, they always trying to talk to her and stuff like that. And she was very thick. Oh my God. I know I was only 11, 10 or 11. We haven't figured out which one it is yet, but I was only 10 or 11, but I remember she was 14. And I felt like she was shaped like an adult, and the adults agreed. They was definitely on her. And I was like, man, I was hating. Cause in my mind, I could never like have a chance with her, but she was so beautiful to me. She was chocolate. She had that thick, like Southern build. I think they was from the South too. When she's 14 and you 10 or 11, she's like an adult to you. That's like having a crush on a babysitter. You know it ain't finna happen. It's just in your imagination. But you know them feelings be real. You know how much you really like her. And I really liked her. And I remember I used to just see the dudes talking to her, and I used to feel bad because I used to be like, man, these adults, give me a chance. You know what I'm saying? So it was like every time I would see her, I would be singing. Like I told y'all, I haven't told y'all, but I'm the 80s, even 70s and 90s and early 2000 R&B. That's my stuff, dude. I'm talking about, I'm singing a song, ad libs, facial expression. I can't sing a lick. Look, dude, that was my experience. I love the concept of having this love that I felt would help save and just coddle me in the places I felt like I needed to be coddled. I romanticized this concept of love so much, and these songs was like the soundtrack to what I wanted. So I love this type of music because that's how I really felt. What's crazy is I'm divorced, and I told y'all this whole episode started because I was dealing with the concept of being divorced, the pain from it. And when I go through something, I try to give it to people and hopefully I can help. But let's keep having fun. I love this type of music because that's how I actually felt. So when I liked, her name was Larietta. So when I liked Larietta, I really liked her. I get the age thing and, you know, how kids are, whatever, but I know I liked her so much. Whenever a song, like an R&B song was playing and I'd be out there singing my little heart out, she would always be singing that same song, or she'll come out in the hallway. It got to the point where like I would be singing in the hallway or playing R&B, whether it was, I was your lover and your secretary. I grew up around women, so most of the R&B music I liked was women singing it to me. But I also liked Drew Hill. That was my, Drew Hill, and the other guy, I don't think I can say his name. He got some other situations going on, so I probably can't say his name. But they did their thing for me. I was Boys to Men, Jodeci, I was doing my thing. Avant Private Room might be one of the top R&B albums of all time. Usher Confessions. I'm part of the Beehive. Look, it's a thing for your boy. So back then, it was the old school, songs with the love, and you really like her. And whenever I was singing it, she would always like give me a compliment or come out there and sing with me. And then sometime I would open the door and play an R&B. And if she was there, because she used to be gone a lot, but if she was there, she would come out in the hallway, and then I would just spend time with her, and we just talking about the music. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I like when he said this, and boom, boom, boom. Oh, I actually wrote a poem. I never told anybody this. I never felt vulnerable and comfortable enough to say it, but I'm by myself. So the first ever poem I wrote was for Larietta. The first ever love poem I wrote. Girl, I Really Like You, that I wrote that, and I wrote 2 verses to it, but that was a big thing. That first verse was for Amanda. Second verse was for Who It's For. But that meant a lot to me. And I remember I gave her my poem, and I think that's what got her. Because one time I remember coming hallway, she didn't come out. I thought she was gone. And then I heard her walk out and kind of like run down the steps. And I'm looking like, why is she running like that? Come to find out, she was running because how she felt about me back. And she couldn't face me. She is miles beyond out of my league, in my opinion. That's how I'm viewing it. She's this dream. She can't be a want. I want her bad, but I don't have a plan of action on how to get her. So she's to the level of like how I would look at Janet Jackson when I was coming up. But in real person, in real life, in real time. But later on, I find out that she tells me like that's why she ran. And we got to talking, and we were already been talking, and find out we're connecting on so much. I'm talking about, she was like, are you going to ask me? Like, she had to lead me into asking her to be my girlfriend. Because even though I'm spending this time, and I love this time with her, this can't be real. Come on, Dad. Don't try to play with me. Don't try to fool me. But it was real. It felt like it was, and how she talked to me. I noticed that she would be, there a lot more now. After she said yes, that she'll be my girlfriend. Because, I asked her. She told me to, so I asked her. And she said yes. And those were some of the greatest times. Like, spending with her, that was like the crux of what had become how I imagine my love. Somebody that I love that much. Like, I wanted her so much, I felt like I loved her. Now, mind you, I'm a kid, but these feelings were strong. And not only that, she was giving me reciprocity. She was telling me how much she cared about me, how much she liked me. And all the time she would see me, she would hear me talk and say, I'm not like the other kids and things like that. You got adults going at you. I know all of the kids in my age range love you. Like, who don't want you, and how do you pick me out of everybody else? And every time I would try to like speak down about myself, like, I know you just with me because like I live across the hall, and I'm probably just something you do when you don't want to be bored, or boom, boom. And she would always check me like, no, don't ever think you're not worth this. Don't ever think that I'm doing you a favor. Like, she was so amazing to me. I wanted to tell her I love her so much, and I never did. I was so scared. Even though she was coddling me through it, she was nurturing me through the whole experience, because I'm in awe every day. Like, you're my girlfriend. This person I wanted so bad is my girlfriend. And I loved every second. I didn't even think about trying to get some yummy. I was so in awe. She had to bring it up one day. Like, are we going? Oh, my bad. We could do that. We could do that. So I'm like, ah! I don't know what I would have did if I'd have did that. Cause I was too there. My heart probably would have exploded in my chest. I was so head, like I was head, shoulders, knees, and toes in love. Like, I couldn't explain it. And the way she treated me, oh my God. I've been looking for Larietta.